What's up, everybody? Lukiko here. They just released the Year 2 Season 1 mid-season reinforcements patch notes today. The patch drops tomorrow, Wednesday, I believe at normal time, as usual, so probably about noon Eastern for PC. I've never done one of these before, but I'm sure I'm going to be asked a lot about my thoughts on the patch notes, so I figured I'd just do a video on it, and I'll give you my thoughts. So let's dive right in. Glaz. This one actually really surprised me. I did not expect him to buff Glaz. Glaz is now able to, well, whenever he's zoomed in, enemies will be brightly lit yellow. Not a game changer, in my opinion, but I think definitely a very cool and probably a much needed buff for Glaz, considering he didn't really have anything else going for him otherwise, aside from his ability to basically take on and off an ACOG. It does also work through smokes. Through all three types of smoke grenades, no less. Smokes, gas grenades, regular smokes, and Capital's cluster smokes. So, pretty cool. I would just say don't do what this guy does. Throw a smoke grenade and then walk into it. That's not the way to do it. But interesting. I think it's really going to make Glaz easier to play when you're on maps like Favela, when you're shooting out holes in walls and looking in, and they tend to be like really dark. And it's actually easy to get shot at by the enemy through those kill holes you make because it's so hard to see into them, especially when you have multiple holes open. So I'm thinking it's going to make that a lot easier. Holding those long angles through kill holes, through windows, should be pretty interesting. I don't really see the smoke buff or anything like that being all that useful, honestly. But I think these types of kills would be like super rare. But it'll be interesting though. I'm really excited to try it out, to be honest. Health program, technical test server. So they mentioned a test server, and they say it's coming out in the coming weeks. I'm really hoping that this is the community test server we've been asking about for a long time, hoping for to increase the quality of the patches that come out. They don't give any details on it, but I just hope that the right people get access to it. So I guess we'll see. We'll see when they release more details. Once that matchmaking, they talked about this at the Invitational, and that's just the ability to queue a ranked or a casual game and then still browse the menu. So super cool. Nothing really significant, but much needed for the game. So I'm really happy to see that. A new elite skin. So everybody loves Twitch. I love Twitch. I'm really happy about this. This is probably, in my opinion, the best looking skin so far. I can't wait. I'm going to buy it immediately tomorrow as soon as it drops. And I can't wait to try it out. I'm just really psyched that they actually took off her mask, finally. It seems strange that she always had the mask on. I'm glad they took it off. I'm glad to see like a real face. I'm really happy about that. Super cool. Doc overheals to 140. So this is really interesting. I don't really feel like it was necessary, but it's still pretty cool. They're increasing the limit from 120 to 140, and then also decreasing how fast the overheal degrades. So really interesting. I don't know. Again, I think it's not really a significant change, but it's going to be interesting. I know some people have mentioned they wonder whether or not Doc is going to be able to, or anyone's going to be able to survive a headshot now, because I think headshots used to do like a max of 120. But I'm going to assume that they're just going to increase the damage to 140 from a headshot. So I don't really see that happening. But buckets and extra magazine for a skeleton key. This one actually really surprised me. I figured if anyone was going to get an extra magazine, it would have been Glaz, considering how many of his bullets I spend shooting out windows or holes in walls, because his weapon has such really good destructive power or capability. So I feel like if anything, what they should have done for his skeleton key was actually just increase the destructive capability of the skeleton key. That there are numerous times when I'm using it to shoot out a floor or a part of the ceiling where it doesn't actually shoot out both sides, and I have to waste 2 or 3 shells on the same spot. So I feel like instead of getting an extra magazine, they should have just increase the destructive capability of the skeleton key, or at least make it more consistent. Red dot, reflex sight, hollow sight reticles are getting smaller. I think really they're just bringing it back to what it was before. They made them smaller at one point, and then like last patch they normalized all the reticles, which had the side effect of increasing all the reticle sizes to like their like pre-buff state and just way too big. So they're really just bringing it, correcting it. They're correcting it, bringing it back down to normal. So that's good. That's really good. I think we expected to see it last patch, and we didn't. So I'm just glad to see it now. DMR sugar rate has been adapted to prevent rapid firing. I don't really know if this was a thing with Buck's DMR, or not Buck, but Blackbeard and Twitch's DMR. But a lot of people abuse this on Buck's DMR, where you could basically fire the thing about as fast as you could click it. It was pretty insane. I know some people have some pretty fast fingers, dude, and I don't know. They fire the thing so damn fast. It fired faster than some automatic weapons, so, or semi-automatic. So super cool. Not a massive change, but something that was, I'd say, like semi-abused every once in a while. So it's good to see. Echoes MP5 does more damage at medium range. I would say this is a good change. I'm still not crazy that it's a silenced gun, that you don't have any choice to unsilence it, for more damage. I would rather they just, this is a good change. I would rather they just remove the permanent silencer on it and allow you to take, on and off the silencer like any other gun. Anywho, this is a good change. It's considering you don't have any choice but to use a silenced primary weapon if you pick Echo. Thermite's 5.56 is easier to control. This is a really good change. This is something people have been kind of had an issue with Thermite since like the dawn of the game. He's always had a really good, I feel it's a really good gun, but the recoil can get you into trouble a lot of times. So most people don't actually like playing Thermite, mostly just because of the recoil. So this is really interesting. I'm not sure if they're going to reduce like recoil across the board for his gun, or if they're going to make the recoil pattern, slightly different. So that'll be interesting to see. But either way, very, very good change. Maybe more people will be more apt to play Thermite now, and not be so against it. So very, very good. Caveira's pistol drop-off has been tweaked. I think this is the second time they've actually tweaked her pistol. It's going from 70 damage at 7 meters down to 20 at 18. Now it goes from 70 at 7 to 35 at 18. So basically 35 from 20 to 35 at 18 meters. That's really good. There's been a lot of occasions where I end up taking her SMG because the pistol is it's so weak at range. So this is really cool. I'll probably be taking her SMG a lot less and more her shotgun now. So very, very, very good change for Caveira. I'm happy to see that. I've been enjoying playing her a lot lately. So definitely like an underrated character. I feel like she's a bit more difficult to use because you really have to know when to hide, when to flank, when to approach, and you really have to have good aim. So really happy to see that. This, very expected. I think everyone saw this coming. Jackal's C7E, his recoil is getting balanced. His thing was basically a freaking laser. So we have increased the recoil. We felt like it was way too accurate, had no downsides. True that. It is now harder to control for prolonged, fully automatic fire. Good. The thing was a laser. Hopefully now it's a little bit less overpowered. So good change for that. Capitale's Para 308 is getting a recoil buff. This is not surprising, I guess. When they nerfed all of the recoil patterns for the ARs, Capitale's gun was already not that great. It had like average damage with a low fire rate. And after the AR nerf, it just made his gun a bit absurd. He kind of fell out of favor with a lot of people, especially after the recent change where they took away his frag grenades and gave him a claymore. So this is a good change. This is really good to maybe bringing him back into play. So Be interesting to see whether or not Capital kind of makes a return or not. Zero ranked MMR exploits. Yeah, they fixed that last patch, so I'm not sure why they put it back in here. They also instituted an abandon penalty for exiting a ranked game during the final kill cam. I'm not really sure why they did this. If they're fixing the MMR exploit, why give an abandon penalty for exiting during the final kill cam? I don't really understand that, but either way, good change, I suppose. Let's see. Exploit that results in ranked games. So most of these fairly insignificant. Shields are not protecting operators from explosive damage. I'm pretty sure they fixed that like a patch or two ago. I'm not sure why that's in here. Blitz has spent additional time at the range, thus reducing the draw time on his weapon after triggering his shield flash. There is no longer a 2-second delay before Blitz can fire his weapon, and that's a good change. It's a good change for Blitz. We'll see. I don't really see him being played any more often than he is now because of this. The reason why people don't like Blitz is because there's like a glitch where you can basically kill Blitz right through his shield. I don't see him being used any more often, but it's a good change in the right direction. Frost is unable to place her traps near a window. I don't recall ever seeing this bug, but I don't know if maybe they're talking about Geisha or something like that, but I've always been able to place her traps near windows. I don't know if they're talking about a specific window on a specific map, but Echo. When hit by a yokai sonic burst, the camera mode can't be used for the duration of the disorientation effect. So interesting changes. The yokai drone resets the initial camera direction every time Echo accesses it. All right, so some minor changes. I'm not really a fan of Echo, to be honest, in the first place. The yokai drone will sometimes experience wrong collision detection. Okay. So just regular fixes. Nothing significant. Mira. Breaking reinforcement panels placed around an indestructible pillar leaves wall gaps, or leave gaps between the wall and the reinforcement. I remember that. So some minor bug fixes. Again, nothing significant for Mira, honestly. Nothing significant. Sledge's model is corrupt during gameplay viewed by other players. Insignificant. And that's pretty much it. I'm actually pretty surprised. Usually mid-season reinforcements, you expect some like pretty heavy changes or balancing or fixes, and this one's pretty mild as far as mid-season goes. So I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but I guess I was kind of hoping for a bit more. One thing that's interesting, actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't look like they fixed the Hibana bug. So I'm not sure how long that's been in the game, but it's quite a while now. That must be a really tough bug. They haven't quite nailed it down yet. Hibana bug is still in the game. Interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think that about does it. I think that's it for the patch notes. That's my take on them. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll see you guys in game.